Welcome to another edition of the Mike Cruz Unadulterated Podcast. Today's a very special day. We're filming in our new studio, Paradise Studios in Massapequa, New York. Our sponsors today are Mike's Hard Lemonade and Ageless Body Spa in Garden City. Our special guest today is Ivan D. Martinez. Ivan, man, thank you for being on here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's been a long time. We've been talking about doing this for about 2 years now, man, since we met.
Yeah.
You know, and so funny story how me and Ivan met. We go to the same gym, and I don't know how it came up, but we're both in the same field. We're both actors.
Right.
To be in that gym and have a fellow actor, working actor in the gym was kind of odd. Of all places, I didn't think, you know, especially in Freeport, I didn't think there'd be other actors in Freeport,
Right.
you know, going to the gym. But Ivan, man, so tell me, acting. You've been doing it since how old?
I would say I started my acting journey 25 years ago.
25 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a labor of love.
It's a labor of love. That's what they say. This was before the industry was very big on the internet, and this was at the time when we used to staple our resume in the back of our headshots and submit it through the mailing system. So it's
before the
been
self-tapes on your
before
cell phone,
self-tapes
right?
and the cell phones and all that. Yes.
You had to actually go into the studio and audition with the casting director right there.
That was a long time ago. Huh?
Yeah, it definitely, the industry changed. We had that conversation today. We talked about that.
Right.
Ivan, so where'd you go? You're a trained actor.
Yes.
Like you went to school to be
Yes.
an actor. Where'd you go to school?
I went to the William Esper Studio,
Okay.
school for actors, located in New York City. Excellent school. Got to meet a lot of awesome talent. I was there for 2 years, studied Meisner. Had an excellent teacher by the name of William Esper himself, who, recently had passed away. I was blessed to have been taught by him, and Meisner has been a good tool to use for me as an actor, and it's also helped me in my personal life as well.
Now, as far as acting, you have a different type of, you have method acting, they call it, what's the other ones? I'm not familiar with them. What are they? You said method acting?
There's method acting, there's theater, stage,
Okay.
performance, film acting as well.
Character acting?
Character
Right,
acting
okay.
as well.
So what's a character actor? What's that considered? Is that considered where you're playing, like, say you're Ivan D. Martinez, you're playing Superman? That's a character?
Well, you're actually playing the character themselves. It really depends on what the writer is looking for as well. What are your strong points as? And for instance, Meisner, what I studied, Meisner is a technique actors use to not overthink when they're reading a scene or when they're performing. It doesn't allow them to overthink, but it helps also work off of the other actor's impulses.
Okay.
So to say, and work off of their instincts. Also, there's a lot of emotional understanding and back and forth, and also work with the environment you're in.
You know, people don't realize the emotional roller coaster it is to be an actor. Where, today you're here as Ivan D. Martinez.
Right.
Tonight you're going to go home and audition to be Joe, the guy whose family was just murdered, and you have to find your family laid out.
Right.
With that type of emotion, you got to become that character. How hard is it to find that character? Having to do this right now, talk about this, but then go home and then be that guy to become that character.
I think a lot of it has to do with a lot of your personal life as well, how you view life. As some actors out there who's never got to view a live person suffering or dying or never been exposed to those kind of elements. It's a bit challenging. And so you have some actors out there that go into, for instance, when they're studying to be a person who has who's been through the mental institution, and they go into these hospitals and they start talking to people. It does affect them emotionally, and they take it with them long term. So it is a very difficult job, but there's some actors out there who have been exposed to that in their personal life, and it's easy to grasp.
Yeah, it's a, like we said before, it's a labor of love, this profession, because you give so much for it, and then the return sometimes is so little. But I said before, it's a good addiction.
Yeah.
To be addicted to anything, this is a great addiction because it's a form of art.
It is, and it's to collaborate with others also helps the person develop as an individual as well, and working alongside of other talent is the reward.
Yeah.
As well.
I get inspired, but people inspire me. That's why I started this podcast, and everyone who I've had on the show has been an inspiration to me. And when we started talking, you told me actor, I was inspired because when you told me your background as far as, you went to school to be an actor, you told me a bit of your personal life that at one point you were homeless, correct?
Yes.
And that was, you were acting at that time.
I was acting at that time, and that was my escape.
Was acting.
It was my escape. It was a way for me to deal and cope with the harsh realities I was dealing with at the time of my life. And I was blessed and fortunate to have met, certain individuals who had helped me and guided me, lifted me, and motivated me to continue and pursue this field. And I'm blessed that I'm at this level in my life where I have just got to meet other actors such as yourself and performers as well. So, I'm blessed.
Yeah. Well, you got good energy, Ivan. You're a very humble guy, man. And that's why we clicked so quickly when we started talking. And we talk about the struggle of an actor, and one thing we were joking about is when we have to do our self tapes.
Yes.
And we both have our familiar partners we self tape with. My wife does my self tape with me.
Yes.
You said your wife does
my wife also
self-tape.
helps me with my self tape.
And it's funny because I get mad sometimes because I'm trying to get into character, and then my wife's doing something. I'm like, come on, man, get into character.
It happens to me as well. Sometimes I come across a scene or I have to submit an audition, and I'm so passionate about this character, and I read him, I got him, I understand him, and I know what the writer's looking for, and I'm mentally there and I'm emotionally there, and here you have my wife, and she's so sweet and she's so nice, and then she just reads the line. She's not giving me anything to work with, so it's like, come on, give it to me.
Yeah, it's tough for them. It's not their thing. They're doing it to help us.
I understand.
They want us to succeed, and I get it. Like, it's me. We get into little tussles.
But it's a blessing though, because they're very supportive on what we do, and
100%.
you have to admire that.
I agree, man. I agree. So you got some shows you've done. What do you have out now? Like, you had some stuff you did previously, right?
Yes, I just a while ago I just finished shooting in Boll's film, where it's called. Just shooting a blank right now.
First Shift?
First Shift,
First
yes.
Shift. Okay.
It stars Kristen Renton.
From Sons of Anarchy.
From Sons of Anarchy. Yep. It also stars Anthony Gino Pesci.
Wow.
And I had a privilege and honor to work with Costas Mandylor, who is the face of the Saw trilogy.
Yeah.
He was a detective who played in most of those. So he was a lot of fun to be on set with, and I had an awesome time working with him.
So the interesting thing about this First Shift movie is the gentleman who you worked with also has a movie out now that's banned in certain countries. And what's the movie, Ivan?
Citizen Vigilante.
Citizen Vigilante.
It was directed by Boll.
Boll, the same thing. So now that movie is banned in certain countries, I saw, right?
I believe it was, from what I remember, it was Germany.
Was it Germany? Yeah. That's a deep, dark movie, man.
You know what? We're living in weird times today. And as a result of what's going on in today's times, that's just the nature of the game.
Yeah. And you think, when you see, I watch clips of it online, and you see that actor playing that character, and I was like, holy shit, man.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, like, you felt that character.
Yeah.
Like, you could almost imagine yourself being that character in that situation.
Well, you have to also remember too that especially in today's times, you have a lot of people who feel this way today, and it's scary. Yeah. It's really, really scary.
Yeah, it is. We're definitely in a weird time right now with all that stuff. Now, future work. What do you got? you got a bunch of auditions you're working on right now, right?
I'm currently working on a couple of auditions right now, and creating self-tapes as I go. But right now I'm focusing on my writing. I've been writing this one story. I've been on it for about a year and a half or two. It's an excellent story. I'm just spending a lot of time doing some background and fact checking, make sure that all my everything I'm pushing out is legit, and I just can't wait to finish. I'm nearly finished, and hope that maybe later on in my career I may be able to launch it.
Good stuff. We had the pleasure of working on the Red Sleazy together.
Yes.
With Chris, Matt, Caleb.
Chris, Matt, and Caleb, and I had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah, that was a cool scene, man.
It was pretty nice.
Cool, it's so inspiring when you see such a creative minds. Like, you see Matt. I know he's a comedian until we did the scene where he's kicking and he goes, "Get up, bitch," and like cut, and I start laughing, and then I think Chris winds up telling me that he's a comedian, and I was like, "Holy shit! All right."
Yeah, they were a lot of fun, and you know what? I got to learn a lot from them as well, because I believe that they shot this film in such a short period of time, and they managed to put it together, and it shows the passion they have, and it's amazing work.
Listen, we just both saw Obsession. 30 days. They filmed it. 30 days. $
800,000.
$740,000 budget. I think, Chris, you know what the return is right now? Are they at $400 million right now? I think they're close to $400 million or high 300 return.
And it's second to the Blair Witch Project from at a time when I remember.
Remember that movie?
Yeah.
And that was filmed like a mockumentary where, $443 million, $740,000 budget, man.
That's wild.
And that young lady, I forgot her name, who played the
Nikki.
lead in that. Nikki. So I'm hearing that she's up for, she's going to be considered for an award. I don't know which platform it was, but they said like she's going to be up for an award for that role. And what interesting is, with her is, like, if you see her background, she's done a lot of stuff before that. She's
done a lot of work, but you know why I respect her, and I admire the fact that she basically did it for almost nothing.
Yeah.
And it just shows, once again, the passion that she had for it, and she loved the script. She read the script, she enjoyed it. She goes, you know what, I'm on board, and she did it for practically nothing, and it just took off.
Like we said earlier today, we were talking. The magic of the casting director to put all those pieces together to make that puzzle. They came out with the Mona Lisa, man, of horrors. And it's so inspiring as an actor, writer. When you see that stuff, that was an independent film.
Yeah.
That got picked up by Universal, and then Blumhouse jumped into it. It's such a unique time for filmmakers and actors right now, because it's wide open.
Yeah.
The field is wide open right now.
I believe they're in the talks of a second one.
Really?
I believe they're in talks of a second one.
I know
from what I last read.
I know he's writing and directing another one. I said, I'm not too sure what it was, but I did read that. But it's inspiring because he was putting his stuff on YouTube, and it's there, man. Like, the guy has the #1 horror film of all time right now. That what's the other movie with the clown?
Terrifier. It's another.
You see the first Terrifier?
First Terrifier.
It was. I mean, it was a cool movie, but you could see how inexpensive it was made. But it caught the attention of somebody, and people invested into it. And now the guy's got a franchise out of it. And who was he before that?
He was just a regular.
A regular guy. I tell you, Ivan, and shit like that inspires me. And we talk. You said the same thing. It's inspirational. Like a big inspiration to Taylor Sheridan.
Taylor Sheridan. Oh my God, I love his work. I followed this guy since Sicario. He was the one.
Was he Sicario?
Yeah, he was the writer for Sicario.
Really?
And he just took off when he was in Sons of Anarchy. I mean, after hearing his latest story, I admire his his transition. I mean, he went from acting to working behind the scenes and writing and producing, it's scary, but it's a big jump. And to come out winning, it's also a flex if you really think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, Yellowstone, Tulsa King, The Lioness.
He does Tulsa King too. That's his. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
So it's it's a big flex. I would love to work with that guy one day, in hopes that Hey Taylor, I'm available. So if
pick me. But it, like, he's such a unique situation too. And what he did, he walked away. He did 2 seasons of Sons of Anarchy, or 1? Was it 2?
I believe he was in. From what I last heard, he was in 2.
Yeah.
And from what I heard from his previous interview, he requested a little bit more pay, and fortunately they told him off the back, he's replaceable.
Yeah.
So, he realized that he was in a field that, the powers that be did not, want to honor his request, and he just took a leave, a bow, and he took off from there.
Can I tell you something? That must have been his biggest inspiration, basically saying, all right, you guys want to give it to me? Let me show you something. Let me show you something. And he walked away from a show that is it's an iconic show, Sons of Anarchy. It was
a great show.
It was a great show by Kurt Sutter. And as an actor, a working actor, he believed in himself so much. He says, you know what, man? You guys don't believe in me. I believe in myself. And I'm going to do it myself. Yeah. And look what he's done.
I mean, as I said, it's a flex.
Yeah.
I mean, to turn your back on the most biggest passion you have is acting, and to work behind the scenes. I mean, a lot of actors do that. And they do a couple of films here and there, and then they want to start producing and directing, which is great too.
Yeah.
But to be forced to just, I'm going to do this, and he took the horse by the rein and made it happen.
He sort of valued himself.
Yeah.
He sort of valued himself. He wrote, and the scripts he wrote, it's not like he did like a Vin Diesel, Sylvester Stallone, Chaz Palminteri. He wrote the scripts with other actors in mind, where the other individuals, it was them playing what they wrote.
Right.
Where he wrote for other people. And I think I saw an interview, and he did say that when he writes with a certain actor in mind for that role already.
I admire his choice of, and his casting team as well, because they tend to pick, one main lead.
Yeah.
And from that point on, most of the rest of the cast is fairly new.
Yeah.
It's a new talent. And bringing in new talent in a show like that is, you're giving opportunities to a lot of people who are just trying to make it, And it's just not even, making it, it's just to have a job.
It's hard. Listen, again, it's hard to be a working actor. Like, in this business, you're in a relationship with the business. But unfortunately, it's more of a one-way business where, it's what they want when they want. You get the call. Hey, man, you get the audition. You get a pin on a certain role, and then you're waiting, and then you're like, hey, what happened? Oh, they unpinned you. Were you gonna tell me? It's an emotional roller coaster.
It's an emotional roller coaster, and in addition to that, you'd also have to take into consideration that a lot of the times when you're sending out these auditions, you're not also acting. You're your own cinematographer. You're your own editor. You're your own. It becomes a bit challenging, and that's when, going back to the days when I first started acting, it was never like that. You only focused on acting. That was your job. That was your thing.
Someone else filmed it,
Now, someone else filmed it, someone else auditioned you, and it was, thank you very much and goodbye. Now it's just like, okay, now I have to learn how to filter, how to edit, how to set the camera up, and how to do the audio and make sure the lighting is okay. And, it's a lot more involved.
Yeah.
Just for you to submit your audition. So, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's a labor of love.
Yeah.
You put so much out there, and in the beginning there is no resources coming in sometimes. Like, people don't realize when you first start doing this, no one knows who we are. No. You have to get yourself on film somehow, and you got to get that reel. The thing is to get the reel. And when you get that first reel, like, okay, I got one. And you just move from there. And a lot of times you get that reel, and you did that job for zero.
Right.
So if you do have a job that you're making income in, whether it be construction, waiter, or whatever it is, you're not making money that day because you're taking off to hopefully get a reel to be seen to move forward with your career in acting. And it's tough, man. It is a labor of love, and I appreciate everyone that does it. That's why I say I'm inspired by so many people. You're an inspiration, man.
Thank
I was
you.
your biggest fan when you got First Shift. I was like,
Cool.
yeah, man.
Thank you. I was
Right
excited.
on, dude.
I was so psyched. I was so excited. And especially working with Boll, I mean, Citizen Vigilante, Blood Rain. I mean, he has a lot of, big films under his belt. So meeting him in person and working with an awesome cast that he had for First Shift was amazing for me.
And when you're on set with people, like, how many people see you in a bad mood on set? You see anybody in a bad mood?
No.
None. No. It's like the gym. When you go to the gym in the morning, all the time I say the best time of the day is in the morning because everyone's in the gym and they're there to feel good. They're not there to cry about it. They're changing their life, whether it's to get in shape or it's a mental release to do it. And the energy people give off is what you want to be around.
Right.
You know?
Well, you surround yourself with people who share your passion, you're more likely to grow as a person as well.
Listen, you don't want to be the smartest guy in the room.
Exactly.
You know, you wanna be in a room with smart people. You know, there's an old saying: you're in a room with 4 millionaires, and you're the fifth guy. You're gonna be the fifth.
You're gonna be the fifth millionaire.
You know,
I
who
believe
you
that.
hang out with, man, and it's such a big transition as an actor to have to act. Do your scene one day, and then you go back to your regular life. It's almost like, yo, can I just do this every day?
Yes.
You know, like you don't want to go back. It's like you live it's a dream.
And in addition to that, you establish this camaraderie with your cast as well. You work with them for a certain period of time, and you develop like this character relationship with them. That once you separate yourself and you go into your, I call it your reality phase. It becomes a bit challenging. You want to stay in that field.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys, they sacrifice a lot, man.
Yeah,
listen,
they do.
we sacrifice. We're sacrificing income sometimes. Like I said again, because you can't. It's hard to have some sort of job that's going to give you leverage to go do your acting stuff. And a lot of time the household, our significant others, hold us down, man, and it's emotional on them, too. And I know I've went through it for 2 years where I took a complete break, man. I had no income coming in, and I went through it with my wife, and fortunately enough, we came out of it, and everything started moving again. But people don't realize the sacrifice we go through.
It's a lot. It's a lot, and especially in today's time where I was talking to my wife about it a few days ago, and I mentioned to her, it's like we've evolved into a world of, we've become living algorithms ourselves. We depend on what we have in our hand, which is either a computer or a phone, and to do everything practically. I remember a time when I first started acting, we relied on books, and that was turning pages, magazines and newspapers. I used to get a monthly magazine pamphlet they used to sell called the Ross Reports, where you have access to every casting agent, every film that's been in production or post-production or in development, and everybody from cinematographers and camera crew and production teams, and you had access to this. Now it's you have to pay for subscriptions, you have to pay for access, and even when you pay for it, it's not yours until you pay for it next month. So it gets a little expensive. It's pretty challenging.
And there's a lot of websites out there. What is it? Backstage,
Actors Access, Casting Networks,
There's
New York Casting. There's so much.
And there's a ton of people on there, man. There's a ton of people. People don't realize as an actor, you're competing against somebody who wants it just as bad as you are. And you don't have the chance of even meeting that guy. Like, you don't even know who you're going against. And it's funny, I was watching Joaquin Phoenix. You ever see when he accepted the speech for the Joker or something? And he said every time he went for a casting call, he was going up a kid named Leonardo. It was DiCaprio. Right. They're the same age group, and that's who he was always competing against. But that's, I guess, I wouldn't say a rivalry, but I guess that was such a friendly competition. They formed a bond through that, man. And like I said, whenever I see someone succeed, I get ambition from it. Like, I'm always the guy that says, hey, man, if he could do it, I could do it. That's how I started this acting thing, man. You know, like, I saw Dave Bautista, who I seen wrestle when he first started wrestling. And when I was wrestling, I seen him wrestle. And I was like, wow, man, he's a big guy, man, but the microphone skills weren't there. And I saw he had a mouthpiece with a manager. And then when I seen him transition to WWE, and then when he went into Hollywood, I was like, holy shit, man, you know, this guy deserves his flowers, man. He evolved into a great actor, you know, and it's so inspiring to see that, man. So who's inspires you? Like, what's an inspirational character or actor that inspires you every day?
Oh, wow. I have a large list, but, you know, I see people like Denzel. I see people like, Chadwick Boseman. When I've seen some of his previous work, their inspiration, Morgan Freeman. Oh my God, I have a large list of actors that, you know, when I see them perform, it's just like, you know, I can relate to them at a level, depending on the film, you know, they're working on, but you know, it does touch an emotional nerve at times, and that's the magic of storytelling I admire from these actors. I mean, I've seen actors that, you know, they perform on stage or they perform on film, and it doesn't do anything for me, and, you know, I just quick to shut the television off, but yeah, man, there are very few actors out there, especially today, that can really
push it to get you intrigued by them.
Right.
You know, and I'm going to go back to what's going on now in Hollywood. If you see like the transition where you have the pro wrestlers moving over to it, like I said, Dave Bautista, John Cena, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I guess Hogan probably started that whole thing. But it's inspiring because these guys are theater actors because, you know, like they're performing in front of a live crowd.
Yeah, every day it's stage acting,
and it's a circus. It's kind of a circus stage acting, and stuntman stuff. And it's inspiring to see those guys, you know, excel in that business where, you know, they have acting coaches, but they're not going to school. They're not, you know, having that training where they have their books in front of them and they're learning to cry on the spot. It's like they had to do on-the-job training, basically. And, you know, I give a lot of respect to anybody who gets into this field, man.
Who would you say would be your inspiration?
One of my biggest inspiration, honestly, man, is my brother-in-law, Jay Haran.
Oh, okay,
you know,
cool.
my wife's brother, former UFC guy. I know him since we're kids. And when I started seeing him do his acting stuff, man, my eyebrow went up, man. And a little light bulb went off. And I was like, hey, man, you know, Jay's fucking good at this, man. You know, I know he's always a great athlete, you know, former world champion, but the drive he had, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever he does, he goes with it with a passion, and it's inspiring, man, because who'd ever figure he'd be an actor, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, I always knew he'd be an athlete, but when he transitioned to that, it 100% was inspiration.
That's
man.
nice to know. That's cool.
Definitely inspiration. Now, what about you? Now, as far as what do you got coming up? Anything you cooking? We got Mafia Heaven.
I have Mafia Heaven right now, which I have to get in contact with
Mr. Zucker.
Mr. Zucker himself.
David, call him.
You got it.
Set up the trip to Vegas. We're ready.
I'm gonna email you, David. But that's in the future.
Yeah, that's a cool script,
That's
man.
a cool script. I'm really happy with the character, and I have a lot to play with.
Yeah,
this guy.
Yeah, and like this business, there's so many no's in this business. You hear more no's than yes. Listen, you don't even hear no's.
No,
you hear nothing back.
You don't even hear anything.
You hear nothing back.
Right.
But when you get a pin, to me, man, when I get the pin, I'm like, I got it.
Yes.
And then when you don't get it, it's like, son of a bitch, man. I know you're not supposed to get upset because it is what it is, man.
It's happened. It's happened to me many times. I had an amazing audition for Marvel.
Yeah,
MCU.
I remember. And they pinned you.
And they pinned me.
You, man.
I was psyched. I was happy. I was ready to go. Let's do this. And I was on my agent, like, what's going on? What's the update? What's the update? And nothing happened.
No
so.
call. I got pinned for a movie, right? And then
and I was pinned for The Pit.
Oh, were you?
As well, yeah.
Really?
So I was really excited about that as well. I was like, let's go, and nothing as well. So I was like,
man, it's it's a one-way relationship. We love it a lot more than they love us because there's, like they say, there's thousands of us out there, man. But as long as you keep the path and the faith and stay positive, man, it's got to happen.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta know you're great before anyone else is gonna see you're great. You know, it's got to be inside you, man, and then that comes out, especially on screen. Like casting directors say, "Hey, man, you look great on film." Like you know, I see people looking at films all the time, and I see a guy like, "Wow, that guy filmed really good, man." Like, and the casting like, "Oh, you see that?" I was like, "Yeah, like." I see what you guys see now, especially when you see the finished product, especially like when you film first shift, right? You see all the characters now. Now, the finished product, you're going to see like, holy
cow.
shit, like how it all came together, man.
See, in my case, I tend to get cast a lot for bad guy roles, which is fun. You know, I enjoy it. And, you know, seeing myself on playing those bad guy roles and, you know, it makes you wonder sometimes, like, you know, I can be a good guy too. You know what I'm saying? I can be a good guy too, but I love all types of work, man. I'm happy with whatever I get, and you know, if given the opportunity, you know, I'm just looking for work. That's what it is. I'm not looking to be famous. I'm not looking to be rich, and all that means nothing to me.
You want to do what you love. You love the craft.
I just love the craft itself and creativity behind it.
So as a kid, you dreamt of being an actor?
Yeah.
You did. And you know what? I think as adults, we lose our dreams because we get so inundated with life's problems, where you can't take an acting job because you have to do this or that. And the biggest thing is, man, is to live your dream, man, and fulfill it.
Well, as a child, I remember vaguely many times, you know, I found myself hiding behind a television, hiding from the harsh realities of life. And, you know, I try to, you know, remove myself from those troubled times and try to, you know, put myself in a world of Commando or, you know, Rambo or Rocky, you know, and, you know, it kept me going and kept me sane in a sense. And happy I did that.
So as a kid, right? You're a kid. Who's your superhero, man? Who was Ivan D. Martinez as a superhero?
My superhero was, I don't know if you remember The Greatest American Hero.
Oh, the show.
Yeah.
The white guy with the kid? Yeah.
Was he goofy? He was a goofy guy,
goofy,
but
right?
he was my superhero at my time, and he was funny. I just like the fact that he was always crashing into the walls and everything.
I remember that.
But him, Superman was also a very big deal for me as well. So you know, I looked up to these guys. I said, you know what, like I can be a Superman one day in television, and it kept me grounded, you know, it kept me focused, and it kept me away from, once again, you know, the harsh realities of life I was living at that time. You know, it wasn't easy. It was surrounded a lot by negative vibes and negative energy. But it kept me grounded, and it kept me focused, and I'm blessed that, you know, I met certain people in my life that kept me going and motivated me and pushed me forward. One person I want to mention, his name was Ronnie Mucha. He was like a father figure to me, and if it wasn't for this man, I don't know. I don't know where I'd be at. But he passed away a few years ago, and once again, you know, father figure, somebody I never had in my life who, you know, he kept me grounded, and I missed him a lot.
Yeah, it's key to have someone in your life like that.
Yeah,
you know, that's your go-to guy, man.
Yeah.
That's the guy who plants the seed of puts you on a path of where you think life should be. You know, and we're blessed to have those people in our lives. And it's funny how those certain people, you always carry them inside. You know, and you're always gonna go back to that when you need it. You know what I'm saying? The little words he said.
Oh, sometimes I hear him in the back of my head, you know, smacking me in the back of the head, going, "Come on, keep going, you know, get up," and I love that.
And he definitely made you the man you are.
Oh
today.
yeah, he definitely did. Yeah.
So Ivan D. Martinez. Okay, ready? Let's get into a little acting stuff here. Ready?
Sure thing.
DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Marvel.
Ivan. Good answer.
Marvel.
Football or baseball?
I would say baseball.
Baseball. Boxing or MMA?
MMA. Full contact.
That thing came full circle.
Yeah.
You got to give them credit too for that one, man.
I have to. Like, those guys are built different, man.
A sport they came out of oblivion, man, that was banned in states.
I tell you, these guys are built different. I can't. I mean, it's not like boxing. It's just a bit more control. These guys, like, knuckle to knuckle.
Do you remember the first UFC when it first started?
Yeah.
It was no holds barred.
No holds barred. I remember.
And I tell you something, another ambition, someone who inspires me, is 100% Dana White.
Dana White, yeah.
He took that company. He saw what that company was worth.
And he made it what it is
that
today.
That vision he had, it's an empire now, man. It's a juggernaut in the sports world where, you know, everyone banned it and said it was brutal, it was this, it was that. Listen, there's less deaths. I don't think there's many deaths in MMA as opposed to boxing.
No.
You know, and, you know, that guy, you know, you got to tip your hat to him also, man. He's another inspiration where he had nothing.
He started a franchise and made it into to what it is today.
A dream.
Yeah.
He said he was going to make it. Everything that boxing wasn't, MMA was going to be.
Yeah.
The best was going to fight the best. There wasn't going to be no in-between guys stopping fights from happening. And he pushed forward with it, man.
Yeah, man.
He definitely pushed forward with it. So, the positivity stuff, man. We talked about it today again, about your circle of people. And in the acting world, again, like, a majority of people are positive, man.
Yeah.
But then you'll run into some guys who, you know, just want a paycheck. They feel their career's over. They're at the tail end of it, and they're okay doing, you know, minor background roles and stuff like that. In your case, man, you're an up and rising actor right now. What would be something you would tell someone starting out right now in acting, man? What would you say to them?
I would tell them you can't build a house without a foundation. No matter how good you think you are, get some schooling. Learn the business in and out. Not only the acting part, but, you know, get behind the camera as well. See, become a visionary. See what the writer is writing and try to understand what the character is going through. Get into the cinematography part about it, you know, understand what goes on behind the scenes as opposed to just, because a lot of actors just go in and think, okay, look, I read the script, I know what the character wants, this is what it is. But there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes that is just, you know, it's the creative part behind it.
A lot of times actors will just get a script and they think they'll know it by reading 2 pages. I've made that mistake myself, and my
I think
wife,
we all have in the beginning.
My wife will vouch for me because she says all the time, you need to read the whole thing, and I definitely screwed up a couple of times. But it's good to have someone critique you. Listen, I want someone to tell me, hey, man, that audition sucked.
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
I respect that.
I might not want to hear it, but I'm going to respect the shit out of it, and then I'm going to ask their opinion. Why did it suck? Tell me what you saw. Because, you know, you're seeing something I don't see. Like, I'm not going to say I suck, but I know I've done things where auditions where I felt like, hey, man, I could have did a lot better on that one.
One of the things that Bill has taught me in the acting in Meisner, the text will always be there. The text will never change. It's how you see the character. It's how you feel in that moment, which is why they call it moment to moment. I mean, whatever the other actor is giving you is what you give back. And the text will never change. You come across a lot of actors who, you know, they do a lot of ad-libbing, or, you know, who was really good at it was Robin Williams. He was, you know, he'll go on camera and then he'll go off.
Yeah.
And the director will let him. Yeah. But he was such a creative genius that it just worked. Jim Carrey was another one.
Yeah. Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby was
the Cosby Show. Yeah,
the Cosby Show. That was another one. So, you know, you'd have to admire these people because they you know, they had a creative mindset that it just allowed them the freedom to play those characters freely. With respect that, you know, I sometimes myself, when I'm reading a script, I question the character and, you know, why is he saying this, and why did he choose this word, and, you know, why is he going into this room while, you know, he's feeling this way. And, you know, that's part of the creative process, you know, character development. And it's very interesting. You said, I do find myself guilty of reading a script. They say, okay, I got it. And my lady also tells me, nah, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah. It's weird. Like I said, like my wife is my reader, and she'll tell me, hey, why don't you try it this way?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you get something with an accent or something like that.
That's awesome.
And they're our biggest fans, man.
Yeah. And no one's going to tell you the truth other than your wife. Like, she's going to tell you.
Yeah. Ivan, so what do you see the future, man? What's in the future for Ivan D. Martinez?
The future for me, listen, I'm not stopping.
Yeah.
If doors are closing, windows are closed, I'm gonna break right through that wall.
That's it, man.
And I'm not gonna take no for an answer.
That's it. If they don't open the door, you kick it in.
I'll kick it in.
Kick it in. Show your face, man. Go into rooms where they say you're not supposed to be in, and brighten that room up, man. That's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
And keep the drive, man, and just keep pushing, man. Like you're an inspiration, man. Every time you tell me you got an audition, I'm like, yeah, man, go get it, man. You know, and you see like there's so many things open right now for actors where there's different avenues where now you have a new with the verticals.
Mm-hmm.
You see the verticals things are big now. They're going union. They're going. I just saw WWE just signed to make a vertical. A bunch of their wrestlers are jumping into that thing. So the avenues are so broad right now that it's so open, man.
I was against verticals in the beginning until I shot one.
I remember you did with Jeff.
I did with Jeff, and I had fun on set.
Yeah.
And it also allowed me to see what goes on behind the scenes as well. So it was fun. I had an awesome time with Jeff and team.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind doing another vertical or two.
And those verticals, they're on a time strain, so they shoot pretty quick. And listen, I was against them in the beginning. I did a bunch of them. Some of them I didn't like the quality, and then some I was like, wow, man. You know, I worked with one director about 3 times, and every one I did with her, Yo-Yo Yang, shout out to you, Yo-Yo. She did amazing, man. And I started seeing some of the documentaries she started doing. And some of them are really good, man.
Yeah.
It's the quality that people want to see, and it's the new age. This is the world we live in.
Well, everybody has a story to tell.
Yeah. I have an agent. Who's your agent right now?
My agent is Maria Stewart from Legacy Management 51.
Okay, so if anybody wants to book Ivan, Maria Stewart.
Maria Stewart.
Legacy 51.
Legacy Management 51.
Oh, man. Oh, sorry. Imagine 51. Ivan, you got anything else you want to tell the people, man, that we might have missed, man, before we close out, man?
I appreciate the time. Thank you very much for having me, man.
It's been a long time coming, man. I'm glad we got you in the seat, man.
Thank you.
And I hope you inspire other people, man.
Likewise, man.
That there is a world out there for us actors, and whether they stereotype us, typecast us, man, all we want to do is get in the door and be on film, man.
Absolutely.
And do what we love.
And likewise,
it's a good passion.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate your time, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.